What's up and good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Shred Show live with me, Josh Pitts. I'm excited, as always, because I've actually got another Josh on the show. Two Joshes always make a right. So very excited to have Josh Jelsing joining me this morning, the founder and owner of PGS Home Loans, which we're going to get into PGS here in just a second. But guys, if you don't know Josh, he's one of those guys that's just in the trenches, grinding every single day. And first and foremost, he's a veteran. And I want to say thank you so much, Josh, for your service to our country and all that you have done for us. And now all the service that you are providing to homeowners across the country. So Josh, thanks so much for joining us. And thank you so much for all you do, my friend.
Yeah, good to be here. Excited
to have you on this. So let's dive right into this. We were talking about PGS home loans, and you told me what PGS stands for, which was just really cool to me. So share with everybody what PGS stands for.
You know, we're looking for names for the company. I went through all kinds of different names, all kinds of, banky this, banky that. And I thought, what's the reason why I'm working so hard? What's the reason why I'm putting all this stuff together? And it really is my family and my kids. So not to leave my wife out, but Parker, Gunnar, Slater are my three kids, and just had a nice ring to it. So that's what we went with.
Dude, I love that because you mentioned that's why. That's our why. That's what we do it for. We do it for our kids. I've got a couple of kids. You got your kids. And that's why you're grinding. That's why you're hustling every single day is for those people. So why not integrate them into the company, dude? I think it's brilliant. I think it's so cool. So kudos to you. And guys, if you're joining us right now live, make sure, of course, you comment hashtag shred. That means you're here, you're shredding with Josh and I. And if you're joining us on the replay, coming back and watching, make sure you comment hashtag hustle because you're out there hustling and getting it done. So Josh, let's dive right into your background a little bit. You got your start with Chase in the industry, and then you've been in it since 1999 within the industry. You've been on the retail side, you've been on the broker side, and now with PGS, you're a broker, and you're a broker through and through. Why did you choose? Why the broker platform? You were mentioning it's just been a good fit for you.
Yeah, we got into, I did start out at Chase Manhattan Bank. Great first 4 years of my career. Unbelievable training there. Fantastic way to get into the business and really learn. We're doing like 35 phone calls a day, so constant applications all over the nation. So you did all types of lending. But then it was time to, spread my wings and really learn the business. And I think when you step out into the brokering platform, you have access to everything. Right? It's not just one bank, one set of guidelines, one way of doing things. It's adapting to so many different ways. It makes it harder. It's actually much, much harder to be a mortgage broker than it is to be a direct lender because you have to know so much more. But I'm a free bird. I can't handle corporate, policies and corporate this and that. I like doing it my way, and I feel that my way is the best way. Obviously, I think anyone's going to be biased to the way they do it. So I love brokering. We've been doing it for 14 years now, so we got into brokering long before it was cool to be a broker. And my team is dialed. Our processes are phenomenal. Our staff is fantastic. So couldn't be happier about being a broker. And right now, the best time to be a broker, in the last 14 years. It really is.
It's funny that you mentioned, I don't know if I've heard, I love your honesty here because being a broker is not easy. It's not, You definitely have to be on top of your game. There's so many people that are like, oh, brokers, they're better because of this and that. But it's really difficult. And I'm glad that you're being honest with that because you really got to be dedicated to your craft. Like you said, retail, I'm not bashing on retail at all, but retail, you kind of have that more support. When you're a broker, like you said, when you're a free bird out there doing it on your own, you've got to be at the top of your game.
Right. No, 100%. There isn't anyone holding your hand. There isn't a manager to go complain to. It's you and you alone. And either you're going to make it happen or you're not. So you can look at it. It's interesting. You go to the Scotsman Guide, and everybody in the top 50 or top 250 are direct lenders. So there isn't one way or another that's better. And they might be making more money over on the on the direct lender side in certain situations. But I'm telling you, just the freedom to do what you want and not be bound to somebody else's rules. That to me is the most appealing part and the most attractive part for being a mortgage broker. I just love it. And here's the deal too: we're always the best. It's either if we're not the very best, we're super, super close to the best on not just conventional loans, not just FHA and VA, USDA, non-QM, whatever. The broker platform is just fantastic, but you can't get into it if you don't have a really good operations behind you. So for people that are coming from the direct lending world over to brokering, they really struggle because they're so used to having someone to count on, someone to go to. In the broker world, there's not. You either come in and you make it happen or you don't. So I love it. It's a very entrepreneurial spirit on the broker side.
Dude, I literally was the next words out of my mouth. You have to be very entrepreneurial minded to really be a broker. If you want to be successful as a broker, if you want to go do like you've done, go out on your own, you have to have that drive. You can't be, if you're one of those people that doesn't like, they don't wake up every single day and like, hey, I'm willing to hustle. I'm willing to go out there and work my ass off and work hard. Probably not for you being a broker owner like yourself. So you mentioned partners. And I know you and I have talked about, I'm wearing my Caliber hat today, but Caliber's been one of those partners for you. That's really, I know you send a lot of loans to them, and you mentioned some of the AEs that you work with. They've helped. When you are a broker, you do need to have those lender partners that help you along the way. And Caliber's been one of those for you.
Yeah. I'm just wondering why I don't have a Caliber hat. That's
yeah,
really
dude, what the? I was like, seriously. You know what? Well, I'm gonna tag him in this, but Brian Bergens, plus you're a veteran. So they actually just sent me a shirt. Like they have these really cool veteran shirts for Caliber too. I almost wore one of those. I totally missed it with you being a veteran, but I am literally, so Brian Bergens, if you're watching this show, you better send Josh a shirt like today, ladies and gentlemen. Get that to happen. We're gonna make it happen. That's what I'm all about. And I'm gonna send you a hat too, Josh. I'm gonna send you one of our shred hats so you can be repping that out as well. But so when it comes to building your business, you can see your team behind you. You can see, like we've mentioned, you're hustling. You guys are working hard. What is it that you guys are doing to grow? Again, everybody had a great year in 2019, but what's your focus in 2020 to continue to grow and continue to thrive in this industry?
Yeah, great question, and I think it's probably the same for a lot of people, but it's actually in our motto. We're best rates, best service all the time. So rates, whatever. Rates are great to have. It's great to have such great rates on every single program, but really it's the service. It's the service to your clients. It's the service to your agents. It's the service to all your referral partners to make sure that you are on it all the time. If you skip a day without being on it, you're going to lose business. And it's just, we're not about losing business. So every single day, we're truly striving to do the best you can. If you go to sleep at night, something I think about a lot. If you go to sleep at night and you think about, did I give it my all today? It's truly how I think. And so every single day, I give it my all on service to my clients, service to our referral partners, and just try to make it the absolute best we can. So, and not only that, we're always trying to improve. You have to always try to improve. If you're stagnant, you're going to be left behind, and nobody wants to be left behind. Or if you do, then I'll take your spot.
You're going to step up and you're going to fill that need, right? That's exactly what you're all about. So let me ask, so we talk about service a lot in this industry. So like, hey, you've got to have rates, like you said, whatever, it is what it is. But service, what does that service look like to you? And again, as deep as you want to go with this, I mean, is it contacting them on a regular basis? Does it have them in a CRM? What does that service look like? Not only just in the transaction, because I'm sure during the transaction, of course, we all go above and beyond, but what does that service look like outside of the transaction?
Yeah, great point. It's A to Z, right? It's from the time you get the phone call to, thanking that agent or thanking that referral partner, honoring that referral partner in the conversation with that client, and then taking it from the pre-approval stage to the approval package review, which is what we do for every client prior to them going out shopping for a home, so they know everything they need to know, right? And just then following up, checking in once a week, twice a week, hit them up on all your social media stuff, and really trying to wow them in that first contact, right? That first series of contacts when you meet the client. And then obviously once they get into escrow, calling every Tuesday, sending status updates, being available. Are you going to be available after 5 p.m. or are you shutting your phone off and you're not available? So, sometimes you're out at dinner with the family, or sometimes you're doing something in a sporting event or whatever. You're going to pick up your phone or you're not. That's the difference between a good loan officer and a great loan officer. So the availability and then the follow through after the transaction's closed. Are you staying in touch with the client? Are you not staying in touch with the client? And if you're not staying in touch with your client, I will. So these kind of things you got to do. And if you're not, then I don't know. I don't have to tell you.
Then you're gonna get left behind. You're gonna get replaced by guys like yourself. So let me ask you: there's a majority of your business. Is it coming from new business, brand new clients, or is it coming from? Because you mentioned that you were taking for it's that A to Z transaction. It's not just the transaction you're in now. It's that lifelong being. A lot of people are talking about being an advisor, being more than just a loan officer right now or a loan originator. It's a lot more than that. So when it comes to that new business, do you see a lot of it coming from past clients and referral partners that you continue to build that relationship with, or is it
Yeah.
coming from where's a lot of that business coming from?
All my purchase business comes, I'd say 75% of my purchase business, 80% of my purchase business comes from my real estate agents. But
Wow.
as the years go on, as you build your book of business, a larger and larger percentage every year comes from my past clients. And that's on the purchase side. And then, of course, on the refis. When the rates dip and they drop a half a point, do you have that relationship with your clients? Bill, call them up and in a single phone call say, hey, I think you should do this. I think it's great for you. And are they going to trust you to understand that's the correct decision? And then you just take it and go. So obviously, right now rates are phenomenal. So we can go through on a single weekend, and I can put 30 applications into escrow just because of the trust factor that they have in our team and how we operate.
Dude, that's powerful. And I love that you say that, because do you have that relationship when rates are incredible like they are? Do you have that relationship? Have you stayed in front of them enough over the last 6, 8, 12 months to where it's one phone call where they're like, oh, Josh, it's time to refi? Great, dude. Here, you already got my info. Let's roll. Like, if you don't have that type of relationship, Josh, like, you got me goosebumps, right? Because that's the type of relationship we need to have with our clients. But that's something that we miss quite often because we're so focused on the one transaction or our pipeline that we have in. Like, and then when we have these opportunities of refinance booms or purchase booms or whatever, do we have that influence? I like to call influence, because influence is the power to impact and change people's lives. Like, do you have that influence to call somebody up and be like, hey, it's go time? And they're like, no questions asked. If Josh is telling me it's time to go, it's time to go. That's cool, man. Like, having that type of relationship with your clients is just awesome. And of course, I'm sure it didn't come overnight. It takes time, right?
No, exactly. And you got to decide in your career, do you want to be transaction based or do you want to be relationship and value based? And it's a clear distinction. Are you going to be the person that is one and done, or are you going to be the advisor that's there for them every single time? And there's so many things that separate a good loan officer between a great loan officer. That's a huge component. Like, which one are you going to be? And I think we strive to really be a relationship and value based lender.
Clearly. I mean, with as much business as you're doing, as you continue to grow, I mean, the things that you're talking about, what I love about you, Josh, is you're not just talking about them, you're executing on them, you're doing them. It's, yes, you're sharing this with everybody right now. The problem is people are going to hear this and be like, oh, well, I'm trying to do that. But that's what you mentioned. What really separates the good from the great is they're really willing to separate themselves from just a transaction and build that long-term relationship, build that long-term, that is something that we need to have more focus on. And if you do, you're going to be successful like you. And yes, is it hard? You bet. Like you said, you mentioned in the very beginning, is it a walk in the park? Absolutely not. It takes time, takes some effort, but clearly it's worth it in the end. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Implementation is the hardest part about being a loan officer. Everybody has great ideas, but can you take that great idea and plug it into something that actually materializes and improves your business? That's so hard. It's something that I think everybody struggles with, but the great ones can take an idea and implement it and make it happen.
Oh, dude, I love that. And that's just it, is going from that idea to implementation. That's what separates the good from the great. And clearly, Josh and PGS Home Loans is doing that so great. Josh, man, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. And as we wrap this up, I like to kind of end this in this way. If you were to challenge everybody who's watching the show today, keeping on that idea of what you mentioned, going from idea to implementation, what would you challenge all the originators, all those advisors that are watching today? What would you challenge them to go out and do in 2020 to really go from that good to great?
Yeah, you know what? I just was listening to a podcast yesterday, or an audio yesterday, and it was talking about how money and commissions will always follow value. Money and commissions will always follow value, and it's never reverse. Value never follows money and commissions. So focus on the value. Focus on being something positive, and don't ever think about the money. As soon as you're thinking about the money, you've blown it. It's a waste. Focus on the value. Focus on the service. Everything else will follow.
Boom. That's a mic drop right there, ladies and gentlemen. Value and service, everything else will follow. Josh Jelsing with PGS Home Loans, man, cannot thank you enough for joining us today and sharing some of these. I mean, dude, you dropped some knowledge bombs for sure. So thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it this morning, man.
Yep, my pleasure, Josh. Great talking with you, and let me know if I can do anything to help.
You too. All right, guys, as always, thank you so much for joining the Shred Show live. And if you like this episode, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you go follow PGS Home Loans and give Josh some love because they did a phenomenal job this morning. And as always, we appreciate you. We love you. Now it's time to go shred. Show up, hustle, repeat every day. See ya.